I
yeah,
just pissed off an entire country.
yeah. I mean, you're really not even giving them a shot here, even though. And then we'll move on to the next game. We have Inter versus Porto. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. This is one of those matchups where it's so hard for me to make a prediction because it's just not the type of matchup that you would expect. Porto versus Inter 10 years ago, maybe when they were the teams they were, but now it's just like, it's kind of an awkward matchup. I don't know how this one's going to turn out.
Yeah, especially that Inter Milan has been playing a little better recently. They're currently holding, I believe, the second spot in Serie A,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken. And
Yep.
they've been playing very well. They're coming off a big win against Udinese 3-1 with their three main attackers of Lukaku, Mkhitaryan, and Lautaro Martinez scored. So, and they absolutely dominate that game. But they play an interesting formation with a 3-5-2, with the middle kind of with Dumfries and DeMarco kind of playing like a wing back instead of like a defensive, um, uh, what right back and left back like traditional that we see. So Lukaku wearing number 90, did not know that. What a weird number, but yeah, Inter Milan, they're very filled up with a lot of talent. They have good depth. I really like what the Inter Milan team can show. They're another dark horse that if they have enough, like I'm really in love with these Italian teams right now. So if they can continue themselves playing good football, they continue to stay healthy, they can maybe be something if some of these other teams disappoint. I would love a full Italian final. That'd be actually pretty dope.
So yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you say there are dark horse. I would put a lot of teams in it before I put into it, but I mean, hey, they are going to be at home. Uh, from Porto, I don't know how they're going to match up. For me, Portuguese league and Champions League, two completely different beasts. We all know that. Same with Serie A, but I do think Serie A is a bit better of a league than the Portuguese league. That's just me. That's just my opinion. You can think otherwise. But yeah, as far as predictions go, hmm, I'm gonna go Inter 2-1.
Ooh, okay, you're keeping it close. I was leaning towards 4-0 Inter. I don't. I like Porto. I've always admired them. They've always been really competitive with European teams. They're like the bigger European teams. And Diogo Costa in goal. He was very good at the World Cup for Portugal. Um, he had some mistakes here and there. He's very mistake prone. And I think Inter Milan exposed that with their immense talent, especially in the midfield, like Barella, Brozovic, Mkhitaryan. They're an incredible trio in the middle, and I love their defense of Bastoni and Serbi with Matteo Darmian. So, and their attack is filled with just depth: Dzeko, Lukaku, Çalhanoğlu, Lautaro Martinez. So I'm gonna just say a dominant. I'll say 3-0, 3-0 Inter Milan.
All right, that's still rotting though because Inter. I mean, they're not the team. I mean, they scored 3-1 versus Udinese, but they had tied 0-0 versus Sampdoria. They beat Milan, AC Milan 1-0. We know it's AC Milan. We talked a lot about AC Milan. We don't even have to get more into that. They beat Atalanta 1-0. Then they beat Cremonese 2-1, and then they lost to Empoli before beating up on Milan again. So yeah, I have Inter winning, but I have them 2-1 just because I know Inter should win, but I don't have them as to be like dominant. Like I don't see them as a dominant team. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't see Porto as a strong side either. That's mainly why it's not being Inter Milan being dominant. It's more Porto not having the side good enough to compete.
Okay.
So
All right. For sure.
I'm,
So
I
yeah,
just pissed off an entire country.
yeah. I mean, you're really not even giving them a shot here, even though they're second in the Portuguese league, only 5 points away from Benfica, and they're
And they're just be sporting.
rotting right now. I mean, dude, they holy fuck. All right, so look, this is what you're betting against. These are all wins, by the way. 1-0, 2-1, 1-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 3-0, 1-0, 4-1, 4-0, 0-0. So Saturday, January 7th, was the last time that they didn't win. And this was versus Casapia AC. And after that, that's a professional football team. And currently in the Portuguese league, they're in the 6th spot. So they're in European contention, Omar. Come on, you get
look.
all knowledge up.
I'll give them respect for beating Sporting and Benfica only.
Yeah, I mean, bro, come on. They're on a
and Braga. Braga has been very good.
They're on a run. The last time that Porto lost a game was October 21st. Jesus Christ, Omar. And yeah,
Benfica struggled with Club Brugge, by the way.
Did they though?
Yeah, they couldn't score until they got into like 45th minute.
But Club Brugge was making the game choppy too. So I don't know, dude. I think Porto put up a fight, and I would not be surprised at all if Porto just managed to win this leg on a 1-0. Because Inter is really inconsistent, and Inter just doesn't convince me. They have a lot of talent, like you said. They're filled with talent, but they're just a little bit better version of what Milan is, and Milan is just an inconsistent disaster. So yeah, any other notes you got on this one, or you want to go to the next one?
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue to shit on Porto, and Inter Milan's gonna shit on them.
All right, so okay, we'll see how that goes. You better be putting your money on them tomorrow, and be putting Inter as part of your parlay.
Oh yeah, I'm putting so much
money. I want alternate money line, like, because you said 3-0, so I want at least the 1.5.
Okay.
All right.
I'm put all my money.
We'll talk about it next pod to see how it goes. We're making bets on these guys, so make sure you keep track of us. We're gonna come back next pod. We'll see how we did, and then we'll move on to our last game of the